We had the front loader on the tractor be a little sick. The tilt function didn't wanna function as it should. We have had in the past that the quick connection to the lifting part of it had broken on us, so we suspected that to start with. Had them undone to check them because it was physically broken, the one that had failed on us, but they seemed okay. Ended up talking to the service department for the loader itself. They're very friendly, and they said it wasn't uncommon that the piston head inside the cylinder came undone. My dad had suspected that it was a massive internal leak, but with them suggesting it could be the piston head coming undone, I decided to remove the cylinder, remove the lockings for the cylinder. Decided it would be easier to turn the machine around, and I needed to remove the bucket that was on it. That took a little bit of a struggle because it's kind of crooked as it is now. But nothing that the breaker bar couldn't fix. Place some wood under it to have it supported when cylinder was removed. Only 2 hoses to undo, quite simple. The pins that I removed the lock on earlier came out quite easily. Tilted the cylinder out to remove the second pin. That one also came out without any issues, and the cylinder itself is so lightweight when you look at it compared to excavators and forest machines. The lid is only held in place with the lock ring, so you just need to hammer it in. A circlip needs to be removed, and then there was a little trick that there was an O-ring there also that I hadn't seen on the parts diagram, so I was a little confused. And yes, the piston came out without the head on it. And I figured I need that to be able to pull the lid out, so I pushed it back in and was lucky enough that the threads could start catching on the piston head and things could start coming out. Here I was able to get that lock ring fully out. I thought it was just held in place by the circlip and O-ring to start with. It was a bit of a struggle to get it out, put the pin back so I had something to hammer on. And after some hammering, eventually it let go and the entire unit could be pulled out. Camera had died on me here as I got it out eventually, and some strong Loctite was put on it, and it was just bolted back in place and put back inside. So it was a no cost fix, just took some time. It was a little bit of a struggle pushing it back in. But with it back in, it was just a matter of hammering the lid back in and getting that lock ring back on there, the O-ring and then the circlip, and my dad ended up putting it back together, and I don't have any video footage of that, but it was just simple, putting the pins back in and screwing them back locking them. As I mentioned in an earlier video, we had the excavator leaking fuel on us, and it was as simple as the return lines for the diesel fuel on it, and it has happened in the past for us. So, and if you put something to kind of expand the replacement hoses a little, makes it easier. The air filter had been removed and it's quite tight down there, but possible to get access. I have done this a couple of years back. They don't seem to last that long, but getting a couple of new, well, it's tight and hard to see down there, so getting any good video footage is not really an option. But the new hoses are in place and the air filter was put back in place, and it's up and running again.